This next picture, the spirit shirt, was actually taken by a woman that's probably about in her mid-40s. And she was apprehended in the 60s and adopted into a family in the United States and raised in the United States. She was taken from her home territory and adopted out, and you know, and we've heard a lot of what happened to those, you know, our people that got adopted. They were quite often in abusive homes, and quite often were used as slaves for that family. And she did this one. It's called Spirit Shirt. This one, the Spirit Shirt, with all my jewelry on it, that's my culture. We're about the silver and turquoise, not gold and diamonds. I know some people like gold and diamonds, but I don't. This one here, the spirit one, it's because as women we have a strong spirit. This is a choker. See how it's broken? It used to be around my neck, but now it's no more. It's broken because I'm free. I'm a free spirit. Heart Song of Reclamation. That's actually me. I was one of the participants from the Toronto group, as well as one of the peer research assistants at that portion of the research. I've always loved rocks. This is me sitting on this big rock by the water as I share my heart song for a moment between me and my Creator. As I sit on this big rock by the water, my spirit reclaims all that has been lost in that one precious moment. I am turning over a new leaf as I see the beauty that the Creator has put in front of us. I honor my place within this environment. I am thankful for my life. Even though I live with HIV, it's not who I am. I have a place in this environment. Next theme that emerged was about the loneliness and that need for safety that I talked about. And women have been talking about this since I've been working with the women at the national level. When we first started sitting together and talking, this is one of the themes that kept re-emerging, was about the need for safe spaces for the women to be able to sit together. And opportunities for the women to gather together is very important in working with the women and creating that safety. This is called Lonely Street. This is just an empty street. I took this picture at 6 o'clock in the morning. I wasn't out getting anything. I was just out and about. You can see all the way down the street, and it just fascinated me. This picture reminds me that it can be very lonely living with HIV. Sometimes I feel alone, even on a busy street. I feel isolation. But since being in this project, I don't feel so alone. This one is called Shameful. Not shameful, but shame-full. This picture makes me think of how we, Paul, have to hide many things to survive at times. I have carried shame for having a brain disorder, depression, caused by trauma and abuse. It makes me listless, hopeless, and isolated many times. I do not like big crowds, even though I have done public speaking for many years. I hid to be strong. I am not strong. I am vulnerable, sensitive, and hide so much of who I am at times because of shame. So sometimes, even though this was an assets-based, strengths-based approach that we were taking in our research, sometimes those other themes, you know, it fell back into, you know, those feelings, those really heartfelt feelings. City escape. And I should mention too that the women that we worked with them wherever they were at. 2 of the women, since we completed this research, have passed. in the last 2 months, 2 women died one after the other from our research project. It was really, really sad. And I remember getting a phone call and being told about the first one that passed, and feeling very, very sad. And then getting a phone call 2 weeks later, in quick succession, another one of the women had passed. But because we are living longer, and because quite often we have to work with people wherever they're at, using that harm reduction approach. If they're still using, and if there's still street involved, we don't keep our doors shut and say, well, we can't work with you because you're using. And we recognize all of these things are part of what's underneath. These are ways of coping. And this picture was actually taken by a woman that's still very involved in using illicit drugs. This is a picture of my friend's place, his 15th floor balcony. So I took a picture of